Hi, Russell here, dog walking author. I got the pups here with me today. Excuse me. Today's topic is whether editors are worth it for an indie author. I know from my personal, speak for myself, I know editors are important, and I think no matter how good your story is, a good editor will elevate it. So that's my personal preference. But the question was whether it's worth it from a cost perspective versus the rewards of how well your book will be received by the general reading public. I knew I'd never get a concrete answer or a unified answer because the responses depend too much on each person's individual situation. What they want out of their book, what their expectations are, how much money they have, what resources they have as far as people in their life they know who may be editors, how strong their beta readers are, all these factors. So I knew the responses would be all over the board. But the couple of responses that surprised me were the number of people who don't know what editors do and boil it down simply to proofreading to fix typos and grammar and spelling mistakes. And editors do so much more than that. I don't have time to go into all the different types of editing, but suffice to say it's way more than just fixing typos. The second thing that surprised me is people just conflating bad editing with editing. Like, no, I wouldn't use an editor because editors will mess up the story. Or editors are bad. I read books that have been edited and there's still a lot of mistakes and issues. Well, that just means the person's hired a bad editor. You can hire a bad editor in any profession you need to hire somebody for. That doesn't become the fault of that profession. That's your fault for not vetting the editor you hire. So we're not talking, yes, a bad editor is not going to do a good job. Duh. So hire a good editor. That's the whole point. So those are the two things that surprised me. I know personally, as I said at the beginning, I think a good editor will elevate any story, no matter how proficient you are. That's just my belief. It is up to each individual person to determine if they need to hire an editor or whether they think their work will stand on its own and what kind of reception they want. Up to you. Anyway, still curious your thoughts. Take care.